Hi families. We've been reading the story Apple Farmer Annie for the last week, and we're reading it this week as well. And so we thought that we would put in a recipe this week that you might be able to make with your families. In the story, Apple Farmer Annie, of course, she makes apples and pies and apple cakes and apple pies and apple muffins. We thought we'd give you a little simpler recipe. Hopefully these things are easy to find at your house. We're going to make an apple crisp today. So the things that you will need is you will need old-fashioned oats, you'll need cinnamon, nutmeg, 4 to 5 medium-sized apples, brown sugar, and melted butter or margarine. The recipe is for like roughly an 8x8 pan. That's the size toaster oven that we have. So I just buy these little tin plates that will fit in my toaster oven. If you want to make it in a larger pan, you're certainly welcome to increase the recipe. This is my recipe. It looks a little bit different than yours because this is the one that we use in class when the kids are working with us. So I'm just kind of going to show you how to put this together, and then hopefully you'll have an opportunity to try it with your family. So the first thing here in class, we usually have the kids help us peel the apples. We have a spiral peeler core. This might be something you want to do. But so I've got 4 medium apples here. And I'm going to pour them into I've got them sliced and cut up. And I'm going to pour them here into my pan. Get them all laying down so they're all nice and ready to go. And then in my bowl, I am going to mix the brown sugar, the oats, the cinnamon and the nutmeg, and then I'm going to top it with 1/3 cup of margarine, melted. This is why we melt it. And we're just going to mix this up real good. Usually here in class, this is, we let the kids measure it out. Of course, we've got measuring cups and spoons. We usually let the kids measure these the ingredients out and dump them into the bowl. And everyone usually gets a turn to help stir. And so we mix it all up. It should look roughly like that because we're going to pour it on top of the apples. And then as the apples bake, they'll bake on 350 for about 30 minutes is about how long it takes before the apples are bubbling and the top is starting to get hard. That's why it's called an apple crisp, is because the top part will get a little crispy with the butter and the margarine and the sugar. And so then I just kind of spread it on. Sometimes I make extra if we decide we don't have enough. If you decide this isn't, you'd like to have a little more topping, then you could increase the amounts. Like this doesn't really look like enough for this pan. So I will probably add a little bit more to this before we bake it here at school. Ideally, you want it to cover the top, so it is possible that maybe you need to double the topping recipe. I'm using, depending on the pan size that you are using. So I hope that you guys have an opportunity to enjoy this fun fall treat. This is one of the things that we look forward to every year here in class. Even my kids at home, we look forward to the fall so that we can make this simple apple crisp. I hope you have an opportunity to enjoy it with your families. Have a good afternoon.